Shefsky here. Welcome to Fantasy House. Every episode, we have a special guest take us on a guided tour through their imaginary, surreal Fantasy House, HGTV on CBD, LSD, DMT. Every episode is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, your local Southern California realtor. Hit me up if you want to talk about real estate, even if you're not thinking about doing anything for quite a while until after the pandemic. Just hit me up. We'll chat on my Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Why not? That's what I always say. Be safe, be silly, have fun. And let's do this. My guest today, Frank Castillo, winner of the roast battle. Awesome comedian, awesome dude. I can't wait if you guys hear this episode. In the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this.
Won't you take it all right over to your fantasy house? Your host with the most experience in your fantasy house. Give all the money for expensive construction.
Since the coronavirus stuff came out, they were like, don't smoke anything. Have you slowed down smoking at all? Or you're just like, nope.
Well, there's a few reports after that was like, and this is where it's like, I'll only believe conspiracy theories if they fit my narrative.
No, that's everybody in the whole world.
Absolutely.
Since the internet was invented. I'll only believe it if it lets me do exactly what I want to do.
Exactly. But there's an article saying about how they think certain CBD and certain THC strands block the receptors that coronavirus fills. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so if you're stoned and stuff, like all your receptors are supposedly filled with THC. It's the same shit that coronavirus attaches themselves to. So since it's already full, they say that it's harder to get coronavirus because you're just so full of THC and CBD. So I was just like, and I don't know if it's true, maybe not, but I smoke.
Just to be safe.
But also I smoke every day anyways. I've always been smoking. So it's one of those things of and I went to Vegas and I've had people spit in my mouth. No, and it's like, man, fuck that mask. No, I have worn my mask and shit, but it's like, if I get through this and it's like I don't get sick, it's like, listen, I smoked a lot of weed.
You had, and this is how you do. This is how you get through it. This is your infomercial. Yeah. You want to survive this virus? Better download Weed Mask quick.
Yeah. How'd you survive the pandemic, man? A lot of OGs, pushes,
mostly train wreck.
Yeah.
Hydrochloroquine. Are you? Is that? Skywalker's the one I recommend. That's what my president said to do. No, dude, I don't puff at all. I feel THC would make me just have way too much anxiety in the situations that we're in nowadays. But I use the CMDMD, the tinctures,
Oh, the CBD tinctures, yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's the same thing. What you're saying, if that's good in your cells.
They say that is one of the things because CBD is different than THC because CBD is more like the non-psychoactive thing.
Yeah, which is why I like it. And can handle it.
Absolutely, it's for inflammation. It's definitely what old people use. No, it's what.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ding, 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 ding. It's like a bar with the bell that rings.
Yeah,
he called me old.
It's a lot of it's a lot of pain relief. You know what I mean? And that's the smart thing to do. That's what my wife uses before she goes to bed. So if that's what's filling up the receptors, it's like, well, listen, it's so funny to be like, well, weed this and weed that, but it's also weed has been a thing that there's a lot of scientists that but it's also tough when you're talking about the science of weed, but then the main mascot of weed has been fucking Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
Great mascots, but it's hard to be like, this is gonna cure this. All right.
That was my old. I used to have a joke about that because my mom used to be like it's not medicine, and I'd be like, well, it's kind of hard to argue when they name it, train wreck and
yeah.
And I was like, how about they come out with? How about they start growing some Tylenol Sinus Chronic? That'll help it. The more legit names will get us on the right page, But there is it is a shame that there's so much stuff mixed into it that kind of devalues it because I could care less about what something's stigma is when they're like, oh, it's going to help you or a loved one or even people you don't know. It's going to help people in the human race suffer less or be happier or be safer or get through. Dude, my life's been touched by disease. I have family members. Who hasn't? Who've got cancer and had died from it and all. It's like if one of them could still be alive from weed, I don't care if Snoop Dogg has to literally blow it down their throat for 2 hours a day, had to shotgun it to him in the hospital. It's like if that's the cure, that's the cure. It's like mushrooms being grown out of shit. You're like, still pretty amazing what they do. I don't care if they're grown out of poop.
It doesn't taste like shit.
It doesn't taste like shit. Talking to God, man. Stupid. I feel like an idiot. Oh, I'm such a hack. Such a hack.
I had a friend hit me up about mushrooms. He was like, and it's because the town that I live in was one of the towns I lived in was very, very conservative.
Yeah.
And it's funny to hear him be like, hey, she like, has a thing with anxiety and stuff. So we're trying to like explore different options and stuff. What do you know about microdosing? And I'm like, well. Dude.
What do you know? Let's take it there. What do you know about microdosing? Because it's fascinating to me.
Oh, so like what I usually do is like I'll get like an ounce or so and I'll take like 0.1, 0.2 a day, like when I was doing it. And they say that just makes you, it's like, and I've done like less, you got to do like way small amounts, less than a gram. Because a gram, you're kind of like, you really start to like trip a little bit. But if you barely feel it, it just kind of gives you, like, how when you do mushrooms, you get the giggles?
Yeah, all the things could be hilarious. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like that.
I think the hardest I think I've ever laughed was on mushrooms years and years ago, for sure.
It's like that, but like an 18th of that. So like, imagine
it's like a good cup of coffee.
It really is. You're just kind of like happy and jolly. Like you're just a much happier person. And it's a better mindset to be in.
Does it block coronavirus?
I don't think it does.
It would just be funny if you're like, it does. Everything I like blocks coronavirus.
Absolutely. I went to Vegas with my dad to the Stratosphere, and that place is terrible. It is so fucking bad. It is like, it's scum of the earth.
What the heck was it like going to Vegas with all the stuff that's going on?
That was the thing.
How did you even feel safe enough to go?
I mean, my dad was like, I want to go see my kids. And I was like, all right, Pops. And then I met him there with him and his wife. We walked around wearing masks and it was like a fucked up Disneyland. It was like, we just walked around and we're just like, hope we don't get it. But I realized the more you drink, the less you care about catching corona.
Like as you're drinking, you're like, I ain't going to fuck with me. Bartender, another round.
Apparently, yeah. So you're just like, yeah. And it was a lot of fun. Everything was pretty much closed, but we found like this patio that had these two guys that were just singing literally like 30 seconds of all the greatest hits. And it was like a comedian open mic, but for like a karaoke band.
Oh, I love it.
Bro, it was the funniest, best show we saw. It was 8 of us on this patio, my whole family, and then these two guys, and they would like take requests but play only Santana songs. They were like,
that was their shtick?
Dude, I didn't know if they were doing it on purpose, but I was dying. Great. The guy was like, are there any Marias in the house? Maria. And we were just like, oh my God. Oh, dude. He was like, do we have any brown-eyed girls? And he started fucking singing Black Magic Woman. It was just, dude. It was everything.
One of the greatest songs ever written, Black Magic Woman. Oh my God.
But I got tested negative, so dodged a bullet.
So now you can tell people, smoke a lot of weed, go to Vegas. These are the things that will prevent you from getting coronavirus.
Absolutely. Have you done any shows?
Oh God, no. I haven't been doing stand-up very much lately for the last 2 years. I mean, I've done a couple spots here or there, but really almost nothing. And I talked to Stephen Briggs was on the show last week, and he did a show. I thought this was so cool. Him and Jesus have done these shows. I don't know if you've done them too.
Drive-in theaters?
Drive-in theaters? So rad. I haven't gone to them yet. I literally just saw them online, and I was like, that is such a genius workaround, like human ingenuity of like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We need to do stand-up. We need it. We can't say it's gone forever. And then it's like, where can we do this? Drive-in theaters.
Yeah.
Because that's safe, right? I mean, like, no one's going to get it.
Safe. I mean, if you get it, everyone in the car is getting it, but that's it.
Each car. That's a Corona car right there. Look out.
Look out. Put a red mark on it.
Yeah. Duct tape the doors closed.
Yeah.
You're staying there 2 weeks, then we'll let you out.
Nope.
Hope you got some almonds in there.
Yeah. You got to stop by a gas station on the way home. It is, that was a real cool one to look at. But certain clubs are still doing it and then doing social distancing. Like
how? How does that even work?
I don't know. Fucking something Chuckle Hut Bar and Grill. And they closed like one table. Well, so like one of the clubs I went to, they closed like one table, and then this was open. But then the table in front, the furthest part is where everyone sat, and then the table in front was social distance. So it's like, so like, and there's like, everyone's getting like sanitized, everyone's masks, the whole thing. And when it's something like that, it's like, all right, they're like making the effort and they're like really trying to do it. That's I get it. Yeah. But then there's other clubs you walk in, they're like, oh, no one's wearing a mask. All right, fuck.
Yeah.
Brendan Schaub getting COVID.
Did Schaub get COVID?
Schaub got COVID, and then Callan just tested positive, it looks like.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. Well, they're both like strapping young dudes, right? So
yeah, but they were talking the most shit, and it was hilarious.
They were talking about shit before COVID, and then they got it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I hate that feeling of like the I told you so, because it's like it's not funny when it comes to life and death. Like you don't want anyone to have to learn a death lesson, but you're just like, I mean, motherfuckers, like it's a virus. It's not
absolutely.
I keep telling my family, like you can't negotiate with it. This isn't real estate, to give a good example. You can't sit down and be like, all right, how about if we do this and we'll give you this and you do that? No, okay, let's come up with a different solution. How about you can't do that with a virus. You're just going, okay, this little thing that's super microscopic could kill us, and we don't know where it is. It's not going to do anything we want it to do.
Yeah, I think two things. One, it's like our parents, it's definitely that, like, you can't blame that generation because their whole thing was like, if you were a kid and you had a fork and you were going to put it in the plug, they're the generation who'd be like, let them learn the lesson.
Maybe yours. Mine, I had a helicopter, what do you call it, baby boomers who love me, nothing against them, but totally
my dad was like, he'll figure it out. He's only going to do it once. Or he'll never.
That's why you won the roast battle. You won the roast battle, and I barely do stand-up. Your dad was like, let him find out the hard way. My dad was like, be careful, don't fucking touch that. I was like, okay, I won't touch it. That's all I needed was someone to scream at me. I'm scared. I'm scared.
I think if the virus was a little bit more violent, people would treat this differently. Yeah. Because like if you look at
it could wave a flag.
Not even that. If it was like if it was like in the movies where people were just bleeding from the eyes, people would be like, "Oh shit.
Yeah,
totally. All right, we're not going outside." But still, you'd have a few people who be like, "Fuck it, I want to go to a yard house."
This makes it like more dangerous because it's too like it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah. Oh, he sneezed. Okay. Yeah. If it was like instant, yeah, it'd be fucking like.
It'd be too much. Yeah, and thank God it's not. Thank God it's not Ebola. I was obsessed with morbid stuff when I was between 10 and 14 years old, and I read like books about outbreaks and all that kind of stuff. The
hantavirus,
hantavirus, yeah. Don't touch that mouse turd. Oh my God!
Yeah. And it's also it just looks like a mouse turd. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true. That too. Yeah.
Every time I'm cleaning something, I see a mouse turd. I'm like, great, now I'm fucking dead.
They're dead, and not a quick death either. A painful bleeding from your eyes and ass death.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it's hard to get like a good grip on. I mean, like I'm not trying to say that that Schaub shouldn't have been more careful, that anybody should be more careful, but it's hard to get a good grip because the media is so good at like scaring you at everything. Like the titles of they lie about stuff all the time, and the titles of their articles. So it's hard to like tell like, oh, it is dangerous, because for a while like it seemed like for me, I mean, I was scared. I err on the side of paranoid caution, but for a lot of people, I could see how they could be like, oh, it's not that bad. We're not going to get it.
Till my white friends start dying, then that's when I start getting worried.
when Whitey passes, you're like, oh, okay, this is
fucking White McSmith died. Oh shit! All right, I can start washing my hands.
Charles, the guy with an education, the guy with a new car. He has a new car. He died. No.
They got him.
The guy who understands how credit cards works. He's dead. No, fuck! It's coming for all of us.
Oh no!
Oh, dude. That's terrifying. I'm totally social distancing. So you've already gone and done some shows. I did 2. I did 3. One was in San Diego, and it was a club. It was social distancing, so that felt a little bit good. They switched the mask, sanitized it. People wore masks and shit. It was pretty like it was. Was nice. It Madhouse, and they just changed their name to Mask House?
No.
Was it American Comedy Club? They're like, we don't fucking wear masks.
America.
We're so American that we're gonna shoot this virus.
Yeah. But it was interesting because the people that go out to see clubs now, or to clubs now, aren't necessarily comedy fans.
Yeah.
They're just people that want to get the fuck out of the house. So it's almost like bombing's even tougher. So like they might not even just be your cup of tea or whatever the fuck. So like the first show was great. Second show was a little tougher. Still good.
They're like, I'm risking my life for this, and you're not funny.
100%. And exactly. You know what I mean? They're like, I spent money on a fucking babysitter. I spent $200. I could have died tonight more than usual.
Oh, dude.
And it's like, yeah. And then, but then I did a show at a bar, and it was nice because it was like, usually bar shows fucking suck, but this one was like, it was the day before they announced the closure of everything again.
Okay.
So it was the last show back before shit got shut down again.
Yep.
So like it was like 20 people. They just wanted to be there. They just wanted to laugh, and they weren't the most behaved, but they were ready to have some fun, and you could tell they wanted it. And I went up and just had fun. Did like some jokes, did some shit I was working on, but it was like not doing heroin for a very long time. And then doing like heroin, like, you know what I mean? Like you did methadone a few times. Zoom shows are like methadone; they're like pretty good for a few times, but then that fucking real shit is like
because you can feel the actual like laughter vibrating on your clothes, like your shirt moves when an audience laughs at the same time at a joke. Like you feel your shirt go, it tickles your nipples. It's like you can't get that off Zoom.
Oh no! But also, I love it when people are like, "Oh!" When I see people have a struggle, over like a punchline or whatever. That's what I love. I love that.
Same here, dude. Yeah. There's something about seeing their face. I mean, it's very sexual almost. It's like seeing their facial expression. You're like, "We are making love right now. You're coming." You're pointing out. It's like, "You're coming, sir. You're coming right now. I helped you come, ma'am."
Yeah. You didn't like that. You, the sound you're making is, I don't like this, but you're laughing, and your face says you're loving it.
We all came, and then you leave. We came. Yeah. You can't do that on Zoom. I mean, that's how I feel with podcasts. It's like, but for me, it really does satisfy me. I'd say I don't know methadone as a heroin, but I guess if you had a simulator, a racing simulator, it's like that's pretty fun. It's not as fun as being in the car and really feeling the G's, but it's like, it can hold me off from making a bad investment and buying an $80,000 Skyline when I shouldn't. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm just going to play this VR game. I mean, that's how I feel with podcasting. It's like I enjoy maybe it's more the riffing back and forth with a guest that I love so much. And I'm hoping people are laughing. They tell me they do in an email.
Yeah, I mean, me too. And but also I think this is what. Until comedy comes back, this is a way for a lot of us to get great creativity out, because we miss the clubs, we miss sitting with people, we miss riffing. Like that's and I'm so grateful to have Moses and Jay, where we have the podcast every Wednesday. We do Out of Context, where we started doing that, I think, like a month in.
Yep.
And my wife was even like, I could just tell how much of a happier person you were because you were able to get that shit out and just be able to talk to your friends and like riff. And I like making my friends laugh, and I like laughing. I love the ball bustiness. I love saying some shit that makes your friend go, "What the fuck?" Like I love that sleepover fucking feel of you just laughing with your friends.
Sleepover feel, like when you're a kid and you're just bonding and you're roasting each other.
Oh yeah, where you just fucking your friend farts and you're just dying for fucking hours. Yeah,
it's like 6 a.m. You're trying to go to sleep, but then someone else farts 10 minutes later. You're like,
it's funny shit, and that's what it is. And I think now that's what it's that's why I like podcasts. I like shooting the shit with my friends, getting stoned. And
hell yeah,
I miss getting stoned with people. That's what I miss the most, is sitting and just puffing on a fatty.
That's you just sitting back and puffing on a fatty. I miss hugs a lot. Quite a bit. I mean, my wife and I all hug every once in a while, so that's nice. I hug my kids a lot, but dude, I miss like hugging my friends. I miss not being scared, because I'm generally not like, you see your friends. I share drinks. I mean, one of the ways my buddy Adam and I joke around is like, if he's eating something, like I might just like run up and take a bite while it's in his hand, like right before he's about to get it and take a bite. I'll and take a bite as a joke, and we have a very homoerotic kind of relationship like that. Like now, it's like I don't know when I'm going to do that again.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to like steal a bite from his burger or like, I don't know.
That's a bit I'll never be able to do again.
It's so weird. But now I got the new bit. Can't do that anymore. My own Jeff Foxworthy. Can't do that anymore. But I think I would trade can't do that anymore for, being able to jokingly. I used to kiss my buddy. I guess a lot of it's with Adam, but I've done a lot of gay stuff with a lot of my friends. But Adam and I, we kiss under the mistletoe as a joke, wait for our wives to watch. I mean, just like, I miss that shit. I'm like, when is that? Is a vaccine even going to make that available? Or like after the vaccine, you're going to be like, yeah, but we don't know what else is out there now. Like,
yeah. And it's also like people hate vaccines. So then you got vaccine deniers who are like, I don't want to be vaccinated. So it's like, oh, we're always just going to have a form of this virus then.
So I'm always going to have to get a vaccine because other people won't get the vaccine a couple times.
Yeah, man. It's
pieces
wild.
Of shit. If you're listening to this and you're not getting a vaccine, fucking press pause right now and go. Well, I guess you can't get the vaccine yet.
Yeah. But also like the treatment's like $3,500 now. So it's like, oh yeah, we're going to get fucked.
Well, I don't think we pay it's not out of pocket treatment. It's just your insurance pays it. They're just letting you know.
You have insurance? No.
We're in California. Everybody's got insurance. Thank God. That's one of the good things about this state.
I just found out. Holy shit.
You gotta have insurance. It's I know it is ridiculous, huh? When Gilead came out with that, it was like, well, we gave it away for free, but now we need $3,500. Like, didn't the federal government give you like $800 million? Like, just give us the shit now.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. They're like, that's ridiculous.
And then I heard the U.S. government was saying like that we were buying up all the reserves of it, so it can't go out internationally. And I was like, that's such bad. Everyone talks about how Trump is, and I'm sorry to get political. Everyone talks about how Trump, or at least Trump lovers, talk about like he's a badass businessman or whatever. He is the worst negotiator. Like any real negotiator, their goal is to, yes, you want to get what you're going to get for your clients or for your side that you're negotiating for, but your goal is to get what you need for your side and supply the other side with what they need. Like a good sexual transaction, like a good commerce transaction where you buy something, you don't feel ripped off. And then, but the way they're negotiating is like, no, we want it all. And it's like, we need to figure out how we can we need to make the patent available or whatever with the ingredients to other companies. Let's say we're going to.
He's not trying to make that hooker come. He's only there for one thing, and that is to get a nut. It is crazy.
So anti-Trumpers, what do you call it? The never Trumpers. We should all have shirts that say "Making hookers come" is a priority.
Yeah,
because, dude, it's just weird. It's a weird sickness to think like that's strong. That's the sign of strength or good negotiation. To be like, fuck you, we get it all. Like that doesn't work out.
It's a winner's mindset, and it's one of those things of like, it's like, well, the perfect world is to be like, yeah, we're all going to work through this. We're all going to work together through this. It does not feel like that anymore. It does not. I feel like growing up, that was kind of the view that was painted towards me. It was like, we're all in this together. And then now it's very much like, nah, man, we're not. And shit's going to get tough. And people don't like you. Yeah.
So stupid. I was even reading yesterday about the Oxford vaccine being great. And then they were like, well, we might not actually get that one in America. We might get a different vaccine because we've invested in these American companies. Like, leave it to fucking psychopaths to be like, to not just pick the top best thing and figure out how to make that. Like, go on with capitalism. I'm totally into it. Like, figure that out. But like, you've got to be able to have exceptions when it comes to global pandemics and war and stuff like that, to be like, hey, like, let's feed people, or hey, get them water or electricity. Like, sell them different shoes if you need to. You know what I mean? Like, I'll let the richer people have better Nikes, but like, get the vaccine to everybody. So I don't know.
Yeah. No,
hopefully I'm wrong.
I mean, I would love that. I mean, that'd be dope if it was like, let's cure this. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that, like, people look at outbreaks like this and they're like, how do I make money?
Oh, it's so fucking awful. How do I make
sell
money?
Masks on the side of the street?
I mean, that's a good way to make money and do something good, but to try to overly profit and like something like a vaccine is like, I don't care how much money you're spending on research. The federal government's giving a ton of money to get these things made. They should just be releasing it, even just the ingredients and the patent of the way it's made, to say, all right, guys.
Yeah, that's what the dude did with polio.
Exactly.
That's the thing, is you're not having like a guy who's like, you know what? I'm just a good scientist. I'm going to try to figure some shit out. It's always like a guy working for a company who's like, all right, I figured out the cure. Now let's figure out how to fuck these people.
I bet you the scientists are still like that. I mean, if you listen to enough interviews on Sam Harris and different people that are in the science world, they're still like that. But the companies that own all their equipment and own the rights to their stuff is like, good, yes. Yes, I don't know. I'm probably talking out my ass because I haven't been there for my direct experience. So
nah, man, we're comedians. We know what we're talking about.
That's right. That's right. You're listening to comedians knowing what they're talking about. Quote us on anything. We're 100% right. Just kidding. Disclaimer, just riffing. Where's the geographic location for your fantasy house? If we're flying the orange drone over it, the fantasy house drone, what would we be looking at?
Oh, I just realized I can make my screen bigger. This is dope.
Oh, he's also on edibles, folks.
My dream house?
Yeah.
My dream house, God, it's like, all right, so my dream house would be like in a remote location, like the desert, like Joshua Tree, right?
Yes.
It would be like a fucking bat cave. It would be like half inside of a rock and the other half like coming out of the cliffside, you know? Like I want it to be like you're on top of like the cliff and then you like go down some stairs into like a dope house and then you could see like a beautiful view and then there's like a helicopter I can hop in and then go to the city in no time. Like shit like that. I want to live like a fucking super villain. I want to have like a moat. Like that would be like my perfect place.
Okay, what would this moat be like? Like visually paint it for us. Like what are we looking at? If we're flying the drone over your rock cave.
Oh, okay, so it'd be like a cliffside, right?
Yep.
Right. And then like you park and you're like, oh, it almost looks like there's nothing in front of you, right? It just looks like flat ground. And then like you realize that there's like a stairs and you can go down. And it almost kind of looks like it's got that like Star Wars vibe, Uncle Ben's house, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
where
yeah.
he like walks in and there's like different like rooms and stuff. It's like that. But also some of it goes outside and you can see like the view. So it's like, you know, cliff and then like glass inside the cliff. And then like very much man cave, like a nice kitchen. Definitely like a living room is dope, but then it would be like downstairs it'd be like man shit. You know what I mean? Like a pool table, big screen TV, lots of video games, alcohol.
What video games will we be watching or playing? If we're on the show right now?
Call of Duty Warzone.
COD.
Warzone all the way, bro.
Okay.
I fucking play that shit every day, and it is an obsession. And there's like a few, like I've gotten closer to my younger cousins playing that video game. Because they also, you know, those kids are fucking, oh, God. These kids are 13. They get insane how better they are at video games than I am. Like,
their brain just adapts better? Like button proprioception, the buttons to the eyes?
Mean, yeah, I started playing video games when I was like a teenager. These kids have been playing games since they were like 3 and 5. Like, they just fucking they're just great, you know?
They're little half human cyborg people now.
Oh, my God. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm terrified. If there's ever a civil war, I'm not scared of the right-wing militia. I'm scared of 10-year-olds with fucking guns.
They're a good shot,
bro. Shots on shots. You don't know what it's like to be shot by a 10-year-old and then teabagged. It is an uncomfortable feeling.
It's hilarious. What's the bathroom like in your fantasy house? Anything special in there?
Yeah, I like a big bathroom, marble, a heated toilet seat with a bidet. Definitely one of those things that you can put your feet up to where it's like. You know what I mean? It gives you better, like, arch.
Stirrups?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, do you know what that is? Like, they have those, like they have
a squatty potty, you mean?
Squatty potty.
Oh, yeah.
But I want this potty to be designed like it's like, you know, you ever see that? You ever see, like, a way a spaceship's designed where, like, they're kind of, like, sitting and stuff? I want it to be like, yeah. So it's like, so they're, like, sitting, so it's like, they're like almost to where they're like it's not like a full sit, like this is a full sit position.
Yeah.
Then there's like a full where you kind of extended and your feet are out, so you're kind of lying down.
This is how you want to take a shit, is laying down.
Yeah. I want a toilet to where it's like a lounge where like you ever see how they do it on Idiocracy?
Dude.
Where it's like a lazy boy with just a hole in it, like that. But way like if Mercedes Benz did it.
Oh, so
it's like you're just chilling and then like
one of those custom AMG, like the really nice Mercedes, like limo Mercedes.
Absolutely.
That's your toilet.
Yeah, you walk into the bathroom, you fucking press a button, and fucking suicide doors come up, and then you just fucking sit in there. You just take a shit. It looks like an escape pod.
Oh, yeah. I love it. We've got a few minutes left. What's the kitchen like? Because you had mentioned it's got a badass kitchen. I want to know what's in there and what kind of food we're eating.
I've always liked really big. What are they called? Centerpieces? Mediums? Island. I really like islands.
Okay, you like a big island?
Marble island. So a big island.
Totally.
Because that's where it's like you put all the food and shit.
Yeah, you're never crunched for space, and you're just like
absolutely
lasagna over there. Yeah, totally.
If we're talking, what are we talking? Dinner? Or are we talking just snacks that are just stuff that's on there throughout the day?
I mean, imagine you're giving me a guided tour through your fantasy house, like cribs, right? And you're just, but instead of just showing me everything, we're gonna stop and eat. Like, what are we gonna eat?
All right, so if we're talking midday,
yeah.
So we're taking lunch. So that means first half of the table. It's a big island.
Yep.
First half's like snacks, nuts, your fucking grab and go shit where you're like, all right, I got, going to, meetings, whatever. You just like something snack on apples, pears, basically like a station at like a production, you know what I mean? Like, snacks, shit.
A craft service table or whatever.
Craft service table type shit. And that middle section, that's all your appetizers, your lunch little munchies where it's like you're super baked, but you want something, but nothing snacky, something a little hearty. So that's your fucking, like your pizza rolls, but like gourmet, homemade, like fucking.
Fancy pizza rolls.
Yeah. Like that
not
nice
microwaved.
Shit.
This has been made by a private chef.
And not like oven shit. We're talking like stone fire oven. You know, like that fucking like kind of deal, that kind of shit.
Tiny little calzones made with the best. Oh yeah, baby, so good.
Shit like that. Definitely some poke, some fresh fish, right? Some good entree. Now we're talking entrees. We're talking lunch entrees.
Oh yeah, dude.
So then it's just like an ever revolving, like a little pizza shit, little sushi. Definitely into like cheeseburgers and stuff. Definitely, if your parents were never coming home again, and you could always be a middle schooler with $1 million.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. That's how I would. Yeah, that's like gourmet Pop-Tarts. So many snacks.
Oh yeah,
and just sugary shit.
You know what I got into recently? Gourmet, like getting gourmet, like fresh bagels. Like, I used to love donuts. I see you got the donut light right behind you. But I got donuts. There's a place out in, where is it? Is it Laverne? It's called Sal's Bagelery, and they have these bagels, and you can get sweet bagels. Like they have chocolate chip bagels and blueberry bagels. And dude, I like it more than getting donuts now. Like it's like you get this bagel and you just slather on some butter and you toast it just a drop so that it's like feels like it's just. And a blueberry bagel with a ton of butter on it, or a chocolate chip bagel with a ton of butter on it, is insane. And you just made me think. You just made me think of. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah.
Donuts too. There'd be donuts. There'd be a lot of donuts.
What donuts would we have then?
I love donut holes.
Cheers donuts.
I love donut holes. I love chocolate donuts. I love the twists. I love bear claws. I'm a big fan of all breakfast desserts.
Oh yeah,
and breakfast like sandwiches.
This episode brought to you by diabetes. Don't get it. Sugar bread.
When I went to New York, sugar bread.
I like all dulce pan, and I have to go to the doctor, so this episode's over.
Oh man! When I went to New York for the first time, that was my favorite. Was going to bodegas and just tossing $10, getting a fucking breakfast sandwich. They do hot breakfast sandwich. You got a soda. You're fucking on that bus or on the fucking train to your next comedy spot, and you're just like, I love this. I want this.
I was such a disgusting fat kid when I used to go to New York to visit family. All I could think about, this is how obsessive I was as a young kid. I wanted a hot dog from a street vendor and Yoo-hoo, a bottle of Yoo-hoo. This was before Yoo-hoo was a California thing. It was only in New York. Yoo-hoo. It was only like East Coast. You couldn't get it out here, at least in the suburbs where I grew up.
Whenever I find Yoo-hoo out here, I immediately buy a bottle.
You can't look at the ingredients. You're like, what the fuck is this made out of? It's hard to even tell. It's like plastic. They like grind up Kirkland tennis shoes from Costco. They melt them down. They squirt a little sugar on them. Like it's some weird chemical. It's not chocolate milk. It's some weird drink. No one will tell you either. Like, what is this made of? Like, it's a lot of stuff that says extrose and dumb, and it's weird long names. You can't eat it, but I love it.
Oh, so good.
Do you have any on you right now?
No. It's always at like those.
It cures coronavirus, you know.
Yeah, it's always at not liquor stores that it's sold. You know, to kind of smoke shops, but like not a market or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Is there any other room that we got to check out in your fantasy house before we head out?
No, I think that's it. I've had a room of just all pets.
All pets, like animal pets?
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to have dogs growing up, and I just want dogs. I have a cat, but she's mean.
What's her name?
Her name is Honey.
Oh, Honey.
She's lying on my couch.
Honey. I grew up with dogs, but we have 2 cats now, and I love them. So you got a little pet room. What kind of pets are in there? Multiple?
Lots of puppies, definitely some dogs, and I've always been a big fan of like those fucking big, like huge dogs. I love big, huge, dumb dogs. Bulldogs, those fucking like sheep herding dogs, those like Siberian fucking like half horses that are fucking dogs. Like
huskies and stuff like that? Just big, fluffy.
Yeah, but there's also other big ones, like crazy big ones that look like fucking lions.
That's a lion that you're talking about. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a lion. They live in Africa and they live amongst other lions.
Yeah, they're dogs, but they kind of look like cats.
Yeah, they have a mane, and they mostly eat like zebras and wildebeests, and they're only found in Saharas. Like, no, that's a lion. Well, whatever, that kind of dog. Dude, Frank Castillo, thank you for doing this, man.
My pleasure, bro. Thank
you. What a blast. Thanks for doing. Where do you want them to look you up? You want them to check out your podcast?
Yeah, check out my podcast, Buddies. If you search it on iTunes or Spotify, Buddies, and then I do another one with my wife called Kissing in a Milkshake. She is a psychologist. She's got a master's in psychology, so I try to make her laugh, and then she tries to tell me what's wrong with me. And then I'm also streaming on Twitch, Frank C. Comedy.
Frank C. Comedy.
A lot of Call of Duty, and I play with a bunch of other comics too.
Dude,
I'm pretty bad at it.
Hit up Frank, guys. Thank you for listening. If you are...
Thank you, Shefsky.
Oh, thank you for doing this. It was a blast. If this is your first time listening, guys, hit the subscribe button. If you are a regular listener, give us a review. Hit the share button. Be silly and have fun. And be safe out there, guys. Ciao.